Hello, good evening or good morning, whatever time you're watching this. Welcome. Nice to be here again. Whenever I'm away for a little while, it feels like a long time to get back into the flow here. But I'm also looking forward to diving into this. So we've been doing a little series here on the hindrances, and I was away last week. I had a lovely break, and so thank you for coming back. Tonight I'm talking about the fifth hindrance, doubt. And having doubt because I think I missed one. Hi, Cassie, good to see you. Hi, Monty. Because before I went away, I think I was doing restlessness and remorse. Is it true, Terry? And then I had technical difficulties that night. Everything just didn't work for a bunch of weird reasons. And then I was away, so I don't think I did. Oh, thanks, Coral. Nice to have you here. Yeah, that's right, Terry. Okay. So they're out of order now. I will do restlessness and remorse hindrance next week. So doubt is, yeah, I know, Terry. I was remembering that and thinking, oh no, we will get there. This one, doubt, is what's typically the fifth one in the list of the 5 hindrances. And so just a little reminder, the first one is desire. The second one is sometimes called ill will or aversion. The third is a little lumping together of sloth and torpor. And fourth, restlessness and remorse, which we will be tucking in next week. And the fifth is this one, doubt. Doubt is sometimes called the mother lode of hindrance. It's perhaps the most hindering of the hindrances, because doubt can cause us to stop practicing altogether, or to just freeze up in life, or around moving forward, making decisions. But it's particularly in the context of the practice, doubt is the one that can really we just kind of give up practicing. We doubt our capacity to receive benefits from the practice, doubt our capacity to do the practice, doubt the teachers, which could be a good thing to do these days. Do question, do doubt that. And so that's something I'll talk about, these different kinds of doubt. So I'll come back to that thought. With each of these 5 hindrances, they are phrased in a way that's repetitive for each one and really important to look at. There's 5 aspects, 5 trainings, 5 ways to unpack and look at and understand each of these hindrances. And I refer to these 5 things in the previous ones, maybe not all of them, but it applies to all of them. So I'll just read the kind of traditional, how it's written in what's called the suttas, the teachings, and then we'll break it down. So when doubt is present, one knows there is doubt in me. Or when doubt is not present, one knows there is no doubt in me. One understands or one knows how there comes to be the arising of doubt, the arising of unarisen doubt. So it's not there, and to understand, how does it arise? What causes it to arise? Fourthly, one understands or knows how there comes to be the abandoning of arisen doubt. When it has arisen, how is it abandoned? And then lastly, one understands how there comes to be the future non-arising of doubt, so that it doesn't even arise. We prevent the arising of it. This is all just kind of clumped into one little sentence or paragraph, and it can kind of be something you just read through without really pulling it apart, because each one of those is, of course, huge. And so important, so important. And yeah, so I was mentioning briefly, there's a difference between what we might call skeptical doubt, where like there's a difference between investigation, inquiry, questioning, examination of things. To it's important, and it's a very important part of the practice, is to really inquire, study, ask, have a community, a sangha of people that will talk about things, or a teacher, to really inquire within ourselves what is really going on. So this is very important. And also, often misquoted or quoted, that the Buddha said that we shouldn't believe something just because a teacher says so, or there's a whole list of things. Don't believe it just from mere hearsay, or from I wish I had the whole list with me now, but you don't believe it just because it's something you've read or heard, or think is a good idea. We are really encouraged to investigate and to contemplate and to examine how things truly are. That's considered beneficial and wholesome. Is it wholesome? Is it skillful? Whatever is showing up, whatever actions we're taking. And all of that is different than the hindrance of doubt. When we're talking about a hindrance, it means it's hindering, getting in the way of clear seeing, clear knowing, getting in the way of compassion or loving kindness. It's interfering with wise action, wise speech. It's hindering those things. So when doubt is a hindrance, it really can immobilize us, freeze us up. We're really stuck with just not knowing, indecision, what to do, which way to go. Yeah, it can really create chaos in the mind, and a lot of disturbance. Often causes a sense of separation from ourselves, because there's a distrusting, if it's directed at our own selves, there's a mistrusting of ourselves or others, or of a teacher, or of a practice. And this can really cause almost a separation from connecting with and, trusting, your own understanding, your own direct experience. When we really get caught in this hindrance, it feeds on itself like they all tend to do. It really can proliferate quickly and causes preoccupation, just total obsession with uncertainty, indecision, inability to, a lack of confidence, unsettledness, hesitation, all that stuff. And it's interesting because it has this aspect of agitation, irritation, like that kind of rising up energy. And it can also then cause a deflation, that inaction, that it can manifest as the sloth and torpor hindrance. So doubt can show up as a restlessness, trying to, thoughts popping all over the place, what to do, I don't know, I'm no good, this is, what should I, what? And that overwhelm then can start to shut the system down into a freeze response. Yeah. I love this line in Joseph Goldstein's book, Mindfulness, which probably looks backwards there, doesn't it? Oh. Great book that he quotes in this book from the author of The Life of Pi. That book, Jan Martel is the author, and in that book, The Life of Pi, the author says this about the effect of doubt. To choose doubt as a philosophy of life is akin to choosing immobility as a means of transportation. It's really good. To choose doubt as a philosophy of life, so we could just say as a habit, to really allow doubt to become a habit of mind, to foster that habit, is akin to, same as choosing immobility as a means of transportation. Of course, immobility meaning we won't get anywhere. Yeah, good one. Specifically, this hindrance of doubt is referring to, usually shows up when it's talked about in the practice as doubt in the practice itself. Is this the right practice for me? Is this the right lineage? Should I practice Zen or Tibetan or just go and do Tai Chi or yoga or a mantra or whatever, all these different practices, and we kind of pop around, try a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So it can show up as doubt in the practice, very, very often as doubt in ourselves, our own capacity to practice. Again, in this book, Mindfulness by Joseph Goldstein, he refers to the phrase being plagued by doubt, which is kind of a common phrase in English. Yeah, regarding this mind state, we kind of say somebody's really plagued with doubt. And he talks about how doubt is like a plague. And of course, at this time, that's resonant as we're kind of in this pandemic, reminiscent of kind of the plague times sometimes. So he's saying doubt is like a plague that weakens us. Because when doubt is strong, instead of making the experiment, whether in meditation or in anything else in our daily life, and engaging fully in the experience so that we can see for ourselves whether or not it's beneficial, the mind simply gets lost in endless speculation. And then, of course, doubt becomes self-fulfilling because staying lost in doubt really is useless. But that really stood out for me, that phrase of the plague of doubt. I'd never really thought about it before, and it's pretty apt description of how crippling and hello, hi Patty, how disabling doubt can be. In all of the other hindrances we've talked about thus far, they each have a simile. There's a couple different types of similes, but mostly we've been talking about the water simile, which is a helpful one, I find. And so for doubt, the image of sometimes it's a pond of water, sometimes it's a bowl of water, a pot of water, is I find the pond image is helpful. So it's like there's the mud at the bottom, or the murky soil at the bottom of the pond gets stirred up and pulled up and stirred through the water, so that there's no clarity, there's no ability to see clearly. There's muddiness, murkiness, confusion. This is what doubt feels like. It's there's no clear seeing, no ability to see through, and no reflection. And that's what the simile is with this one. Oh, no need to apologize, Cypria. You can come and go as able. Happy to have you here. Okay, that's enough about that. All right, so let's go back to, I guess I've mostly been talking about how doubt hinders our practice, but same. And I've been having a lot of doubt lately, so this is one reason why I was interested to talk about it tonight. On lots of different levels, doubt about our world, our painful, grieving world right now. Doubt about community, about government, about, whatever. All the uncertainty, all the not knowing creates a lot of doubt. Like, I don't know what to do, and how should I respond to this? And just all these questions, which really have been immobilizing sometimes when I'm not seeing clearly and not practicing skillfully with it. And then doubt personally about myself as a teacher, or as lots of different levels there. And so doubt can just really show up in our daily lives, where we're this kind of feeling like, I just don't know. You're just stuck in this constant sense of don't know, but not in a way that's skillful, like, oh, not knowing. Let's investigate. It's this mind swirling, don't know, I don't know. What should I do? Why did I do that? I'm no good. Doubting ourselves, doubting our decisions, doubting things we have done previously that maybe we're seeing fruits of now, not knowing which way to go forward. It's completely often debilitating and freezes us up, so that we don't take the chance to try and see the outcome. Okay, now I started with that kind of paragraph of how we're supposed to work with each of these hindrances. So the first is that when doubt is present, one understands and knows there is doubt in me. This sounds so simple, so obvious, but when you're caught in doubt, there often isn't that clarity even to just say, oh, this is doubt. And this is so important. This already just stops feeding the habit, the spiral of the mind. To just name it. Really, this is so important. Just name it. Oh, this is doubt. I'm really experiencing this hindrance of doubt right now. I'm immobilized by doubt. Name it. And this, so of course, this requires some mindfulness of thoughts, some mindfulness and awareness. So our practice feeds that ability to notice the habitual loops of our mind. I can't, I'm no good, what's the point, I'll never, dot, dot, dot. So step number one, name it, note, this is doubt. Recognize it. So important. Then, when doubt is not present, one knows there is no doubt in me. Also very important and often overlooked. To really acknowledge, recognize, feel the experience and the sensation when we have those little moments, perhaps, might just be little moments of, knowing is present here. Calm, mindfulness, an absence of doubt. So, you're out I was talking with a friend today, I was out for a beautiful walk and noticing the colors. It's like, oh, maybe there's some moments of doubt is absent here. Especially if we're really racked with a lot of doubt, then turn towards it like, oh, actually just knowing is here. Knowing this breath, this step, watching thoughts come and go. Yeah. And also, in our formal practice, that moment, those moments, when we're resting with an anchor, we'll just say the breath, could be many, many things. And of course, for all of us, the mind skips off. At some point, knowing happens, awareness arises. And right there is a moment of mindfulness, of knowing, of beginning again. And in that little moment, oh, there's no doubt is absent. All the hindrances are absent in that moment. So recognize that little gem. The more you recognize it, acknowledge it, note, oh, absence of hindrance, then the more you will be attuned to that arising. Okay, number 3, one understands, or sometimes it's worded one knows. And, this is the type of understanding and knowing that is not cognitive, not just cognitive, it's visceral knowing, understanding, like an insight, a deeper kind of knowing. How there comes to be the arising of doubt. So it hasn't arisen, and we need to know and understand how it comes to be. In the Samyutta Nikaya, it says it this way: there are things causing doubt. Frequently giving unwise attention to them, that is the nourishment. the fuel, the food for the arising of doubt that has not yet arisen, and for the increasing and strengthening of doubt that has already arisen. So, what are these things that cause doubt to arise? Gosh, there's so much to reflect on here. A real encouragement to, if doubt is something that shows up for you at this time or any time, or has a tendency, a habit to be strong for you, dig in, unpack it. Oh, what are the things that really cause doubt to arise for me? It can be people we live with. It can be that we live in environments or have lived in environments, were raised in environments where we were continually shamed or put down or doubted or what's that word, dismissed. Yeah, obviously that would be a condition for the arising of doubt if you're constantly hearing that, or it's deeply ingrained in old patterns. Not paying attention to the present moment is a cause for the arising of doubt. If you're not attuned to and practicing and really cultivating present moment awareness, embodied present moment awareness, then the habit mind state of doubt is just going to have its way. To really reflect on for yourself personally, what is it that brings, that cultivates, that nurtures calm, wisdom, mindfulness, peace, happiness? What we know what these things are, but maybe we need to really write them down, make a list, make sure they're in our day, get ourselves a walking buddy, to get outside or do some art, or do a formal meditation practice, find a community. What are the things that cultivate that for you? And then what is it that nourishes, cultivates unhappiness, suffering, doubt of self, others, decisions, what to do, this practice, that practice? For me, too much social media, especially the wrong kinds, can stir up a lot of doubt. And being mindful, protecting the sense doors, choosing what communities are nurturing my sense of faith, of hope, of compassion, and what continual news feeds are seeding and fueling doubt. Again, Joseph Goldstein's book. I love this one. He's talking about this aspect of what things are wholesome and what is unwholesome, and understanding that, really looking at it as a breeding ground for doubt. And he says, as just one example of this lack of discernment. Many people live with the belief that the accumulation of more and more sense pleasures is the key to happiness. This is akin to the belief that drinking salt water will quench our thirst. The more we drink, the thirstier we get. And without an understanding of what is skillful and what is unskillful, we end up doing a lot of things that either don't bring their promised results or actually bring harm to ourselves and others. And this in turn leads to doubt and confusion about what we're doing in our lives and in our practice. I just love that visceral example of drinking salt water, trying to quench our thirst, which makes you thirstier. And the more you drink, the more you want. It has a lot to do with desire there too. But, it's that mistaken, unwise, unskillful nurturing of putting our attention somewhere that's not conducive to kindness and wisdom. Well, okay. Oh, it's a lot in this one, isn't it? I say that all the time. Number 4, one understands or knows how there comes to be the abandoning of arisen doubt. So before we're talking about preventing it from arising, how it comes to be. And so this is now, doubt has arisen. How do we abandon it? How do we let it go? A couple things are listed here, and I'll just pull out a few of them maybe. So asking questions, having a community, having a teacher, studying the suttas as we do here in these talks and practice. The ethical precepts, values that you personally espouse or live by, or the ones that we follow as lay practitioners on this path, the values of non-harm, non-stealing, not using unkind and untruthful speech. These things, when we cultivate them, help us to abandon doubt. So it's often called noble companionship and suitable conversation is, who are you hanging with? Who's your company? Skillful community is conducive to accountability, to wisdom, to reflection, so take a look, or even you could even look at it as, what am I feeding the sense doors with? Am I watching a lot of, I don't know, do they still do those trashy talk show things and all that stuff? Obviously that's going to feed kind of judgment and gossipy nature, I think. I don't know. Enough about that. Last one, number 5, is to understand and know deeply, from your own true deep understanding, not because I said so, or Buddha even said so, or Joseph said so, but how there comes to be the future non-arising of doubt. So we've talked about it, arising and how to abandon it, but how to even prevent it from arising. This is a little more advanced kind of thing. We kind of have to just start with first even know, oh, this is doubt. Wait a minute, stop. Just know this is doubt that's happening. That's, even if you can just do that, you're going to be totally on track, on the path. And so this is a little more subtle here. So for this one, cultivating faith. And I think I maybe have given a talk on faith here. I don't know. I've lost track of the topics. I need to make a list. But faith in these teachings is not blind faith, or just take someone's word for it. Faith, sada, is more like trust in your direct experience, your direct understanding with all of these aspects of what feeds unskillfulness, ruminating, doubting mind, and what feeds calm, wisdom, peace, compassion. So you develop faith, trust, reliance by skillfully attuning to those times when doubt is absent. And then you can rely on that, like, oh, wait, I know it's possible for me. There are times. Or attuning to, what do I know? There's a hell of a lot I don't know. What do I know? Yeah, this is a really good question. What do you know? You know that the present moment is known through the body. We know that love and compassion is what's needed to heal our hearts and minds for ourselves and all beings everywhere. We know we have the desire, not the desire, the wish to be free from suffering. And hopefully you know that's possible for you. Because you have known that. There have been times, maybe long times, maybe lots of bits of times, or even just moments where you can recognize, oh yeah, that was happy, that was peaceful, that was kind, that was heart connected. So it is possible for you. We need to be willing to suspend self-judgment and to see for yourself what is true. Doubt freezes us up and stops us from even checking that out. A poem? What? Yeah. And then we practice. Rosemary Watola Trummer. This one is called This Desperate Week. The orchid reminds me. Just that title moves me to tears. This desperate week. The orchid reminds me. Wow. These are desperate times. These are painful times. The orchids are there to remind us, and nature is there. We are here together to remind each other. So here is her beautiful poem. I linked it down below, of course. It looked dead, the orchid. After long, extravagant glory, the blossoms dropped quickly, one by one. The stem shriveled, dried. Every time I looked at it, all I saw was what wasn't there. People said it would reset. They said it needed rest, a little bit of extra care. But 8 months later, the plant still looked dead. There are times we lose hope, times when our eyes tell us we're fools to believe beyond what we see here now. But from what seemed like nothing, a long, dark stem appeared lined with buds. And what a fool I was to doubt, to let the eyes lie to me. Already they've remembered how to see what will be. Already they remember how to see the beauty of exactly what is here. Oh, rosemary. So good. So that poem is linked down below, and I'll just also add there are links there to support True North Insight as and if you are able, and also to support me if you are able. Thank you for the support I have received. Yeah, let's practice. Have a little practice. Another helpful question, maybe I'll refer to this in the practice, is whose voice is your doubting voice? When you hear that doubting voice looping, especially when it's directed at yourself often, and I'm no, you're no, good, all of that whole line, whose voice is that? Really interesting question. Whose voice is that? Okay. Please drop all that words. Drop it all. Let it go. Settle in. Let your hands come to rest if you can. Let your eyes come to rest for just these 15, 17 minutes. See if you can just put aside any distractions. Cultivate your capacity to be intimate with your being. Essential. So essential. So as your eyes and hands come to rest, noticing if there's anything that's been picked up in your body today that could rest. Maybe in your eyes, your jaw, your tongue, your neck, your shoulders, your throat. Rest. If there's anything you're holding in the heart area or belly that maybe isn't needed right now for a few minutes. A breath to soften. Begin to allow yourself to feel your weight, your beautiful, beautiful weight, your perfect weight. Allow yourself to be full and heavy, held by the ground. Soften. Also know that it's okay if there's areas of tension that you feel, and you might choose to keep them. That's okay. You know, you might feel a little bit of guardedness or tension around the heart or belly or anywhere in the body, and you can choose to, yeah, I actually need that protection right now. And just know that, so that it's a choice and it's okay. See if you can just slide the heart towards trusting yourself. Connecting with your sincere, deep, and honest wish for clarity, peace in your life. You are worthy of this. You have a right. You are deserving. And perhaps this comes to you as words or just a felt sensation, an inclination of the heart, connecting with your honest, sincere, deep wish for clarity and peace. Is there a place that you feel that in the body? Is there a place you can kind of tuck that into your knowing, like tucking it into a little pocket, a little nook somewhere in your body? There are times you've known clarity, absence of doubt, peace. Even in the midst of chaos and confusion. And now gently open awareness to what you do know right now. Not concepts and thoughts and ideas, but with mindfulness. What is known right now? Is there coolness? Is there warmth? Are there sounds being known? Are there moments of peace and ease, or an absence of that? Just knowing the absence of it. Knowing if there's doubt here. This is a very important first part of this practice. If doubt is here, Name it. And to drop below feeding the storyline of more doubt, fueling it, see if you can just feel, where is doubt in your body? Does it reside somewhere? Where's the energy of it? Is it pressure and vibration swirling in the area of the skull? Is it in the gut? And if you're hearing thought loops of doubt, it might be helpful to just float the question, whose voice is that doubting voice? What do you know right now? Pressure, texture, temperature, thoughts arising and passing, sounds arising, passing. Present moment, mindfulness, and compassion. If awareness has moved off into ruminating thoughts or um, past or future planning, remembering, see if you can attune to that moment of beginning again and acknowledge, hey, there's a moment where the hindrances are absent. May I and all beings everywhere be free. Know the abandoning of the hindrance of doubt, which hinders our kindness and wisdom. May I and all beings everywhere be free from the debilitating lack of confidence and indecision of doubt. May I and all beings everywhere be free from suffering. Um, I had a friend asking about this bell, and I guess you hear it, but you don't see it. So I will just show you what it looks like. This is sometimes called the Tibetan singing bowl, or it often comes with a little cushion. Sometimes they're really huge and gorgeous. This one has, you know, image inside of Buddha's eyes is really nice if you can hear that. It also has lotuses around it. It's great if you can get one with a felt on the striker. This is wood and it has felt around it, and really I find makes it much nicer sound than often they're just wood. Oh, it's a little bit harsher. Not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, so that's what that looks like. All right, dear hearts. So next week, we'll go back to the fourth hindrance, all systems being go, of restlessness and remorse. Thank you for your support, and Donna, and as you're able. And if you need more support, one of the ways of working with this hindrance is to have a teacher, or to have a study group, or to have a community to support you in abandoning this hindrance. You're welcome. Okay, good to be with you. I miss you all, and glad you're here in this way. Okay, good night.